I'm not leaving with this fear. So you better best know. And how in the world did you come to be such a lazy?
First thing that happens for me is I plot the show, so I know exactly who's in what scene, where they are, location-wise, and then I break down what they're going to wear in that scene. This does differ from the movie because these people are playing instruments, and so I can't do heavy jewelry or anything that really flaps a whole lot because they've got to be able to play their banjo or their guitar or whatever they've got. For this show, I pulled a number of clothes from North Carolina Theater. They have a huge stock. Some of it came from Theatre Raleigh'S stock. Some of it was thrift shopping. I think there are a number of pieces that are from thrift stores that are in the area. All the people that are local, i.e. Irish, are blue. All the people that are outside of that world, the Czech people, are all in warmer colors. Then once we get into tech, things do look different in the light. That'll be different, so things might get changed up from there. I love dress. I love the first dress. That to me, to go from what was up here to what was on the paper to what was on the stage, is just the most rewarding experience of any job I've ever had.
This is my second collaboration with Tim as a set designer in the last 2 years. When we first started our conversations about the design, we decided we didn't want to set it in the traditional bar setting, which allowed us to kind of challenge ourselves to find another environment that made sense for the story, finding a way to anchor and build conceptually off of that, and discovered this idea of a moment suspended in time. And that was our launching off point for this moment between choices in your life and the direction that those choices could take you. The floor became a central element of our design, so establishing an efficient pattern, we chose to go with stencils as our base, and then upon that we were able to personalize each tile by adding different elements and embellishments to each one, and then muddling and shaping each tile so it had its own unique personality, which just gave the character a richness and a warmth that the show really needs.
I was attracted to lighting because you can't touch it. You can't pick it up, you can't, a lot of times you can't, it's really difficult to pre-visualize it or communicate it except for through words. It's just this kind of amorphous thing that doesn't exist until suddenly it's there and it has a breath of life and then it's kind of gone. You have to read the script, you have to connect with the script somehow. You have to know the architecture of the space and what you can accomplish with the space and the mechanics of the gear, what do you have available, what do you not have available. These are the worst because it's blank slate. You have all of these different elements. It's like having a whole, like the mega box of colored pencils. There's so many options and you have to choose one, but there's like 300 of them. My favorite part is right now, actually. Now is when it has its life. And now I can tweak and refine and, and also just kind of enjoy without obsessing over the blank page. The blank page of an empty stage is the worst, but this is the best. A lot of the light cues are not necessarily about where are we, what are we doing, what's the weather like, did someone turn a light switch on and off. There's these moments of longing and you have to feel that. There's these moments of ghostly remembrances and you have to create that with light somehow.
Essentially, I was a musician, and I realized that there's this guy that sits out in the audience behind the soundboard. It's up to him if we sound good or we don't sound good. I realized I had to speak his language.
Take your fucking cello and shove it up your arsehole. It's finished!
we're in the quasi-round. We have an audience on both sides of the playing space. So the sound system has to like feed two opposite sides at the same time. So that's just technically how we place the speakers. Here we have to automate every single instrument as to whether it's on or off, how loud it is in the mix, the amount of reverb we add, no reverb at all. All of that is automated every step of the way at once. So typically we would just do that with the actors. Here we have to do it with the actors and every single instrument. There's a couple of moments sonically within the music that it is sort of wonderful what we're doing. The blend, the effects, the balances. It kind of gives me goosebumps. That's what I always kind of like go for, is that if it can affect you, if it can make you feel something, if it can make you sit there and say, how is this happening in front of us?